All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 16th session of the Impromptu Hive. This is the very first book club meeting that we are holding at the Impromptu Hive. So very excited about that. A lot of us haven't turned up today, unfortunately, but we'll proceed nevertheless with the three of us who are here and anyone else who wants to contribute. So how it works is we'll have different aspects of book review and we'll give a speech of 3 minutes on average on each aspect, whoever's assigned. And after that, anyone else can come in and contribute since we are only three people, I guess, today. And anyone can come in and we can discuss the book together after the speech ends. So we have some time to ask questions or have an informal discussion amongst us. Sounds good. So the time limit is 3 minutes per speaker. So feel free to extend today because we don't have a time restriction since there are not a lot of speakers today. So with that, we'll also have a round robin at the end of the book review. So we'll start quickly. All right. Okay, so I'll begin with the description of main characters. Bandra, if you are there, the time limit is 3 minutes. You can show the red card at the 3 minute mark. All right, so this was an interesting book in terms of the book, in terms of the characters that the book had. I think the characters were in different sets. Firstly, I think the main characters were uh, Aaron, which is the son who's the main protagonist of the book. Then there's his father, Ira. There's Sandy, who isn't in the book, but he's very much hovering over each of the character and their minds. And then there's some supporting characters, which were the carpenters, which were Aaron's friend Chad, who were supporting the characters in a way that that complemented the characters' movement throughout the book. There was also Hannah, who was Aaron's love interest in the book, and there's also Aaron's mother, who came towards the end, but had a significant role throughout the book in terms of telephone conversations and so on and so forth. So, so in terms of description, I feel like Aaron was driven by intuition more than what he saw in front of him. So he took decisions very hastily. He sold off the bookstore very quickly without consulting anyone. And Ira was more grounded, I felt, throughout the book. Like uh, he thought through everything in a much more in a deeper manner than Aaron did, and that kind of complemented both of them together. Now, this in terms of supporting characters, the author didn't really shine much light on their characters because they were supporting and they were there to uh, take off some steam of in a light-hearted manner to include more uh, light-hearted moments between them and Aaron and the father. When I remember there was a time when one of the carpenters shared a story how Ira helped their books, helped their store, helped his family, and then in turn, that's why he was putting pressure on Aaron and Ira uh, to repair the bookstore, and he was involved that much. So I think these were the entire character system that the author put in, which was very well thought out. And I think the distinction was very clear throughout the book. Like Aaron and Ira were the main characters, but everyone else kind of supported him throughout, like when he sold the house to ultimately moving out of it and, all of them creating the bookstore together. So I think those were the main characters. So that's my time here. Anyone wants to add anything to this? Any other insights by?
I thought that Aaron, I did not like that character so much because he was just very pessimistic. But one thing that I noticed was that he sort of kind of grew throughout,
Yeah,
like towards the end of the book. When initially he was like, he was very resentful towards Sandy,
yeah,
but at the end, when he realized that, okay, maybe he was stuck in something which was beyond his control. So
yeah.
that was a great progression of the character that I thought about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And he didn't even consult anyone. Like he went off by himself. He thought what he was doing was right. And yeah, definitely, I agree with you. He was pessimistic because he couldn't see any way out. But then when everything else sort of was put into place by the people who were trying to fix the bookstore, then he saw the inside that okay, this could be fixed. So yeah, definitely, I agree. Yeah. Anyone else? Ankit, Majidi. Majidi, have you read the book?
No, I have not read. That's why I'm here. I just want to get a gist of it.
Okay. Ankit, anything from you?
I think Aaron is negative person, but Chad is very good person. He always encourages. Even he is very positive person, and he always throughout the book he helped him. He always encouraged to run the bookstore and take a stance. Don't run from the situations. Aaron most of the time thinks everything is inevitable, like
Yeah.
dinosaur thing also inevitable,
Yeah.
and then death of his brother also inevitable. But Chad is very good character of the.
Chad was sort of a happy-go-lucky fellow. Like he like went with everything that came to his mind without overthinking like Aaron did. So yeah, definitely. Yeah. All right. So let's move on to the next session. Any comments? I think books Subhanshu isn't here. So if anyone wants to say something on the book structure or plot, how the book is structured, feel free to go ahead. You have 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, so I'll begin. So the book structure, I think the first chapter itself got me hooked because the author started off with dinosaurs, which I didn't realize would lead into Aaron's life. I was thinking it had something to do with uh, dinosaurs, how we generally are inevitable, but how the story it just sort of changed after the first chapter on how dinosaurs are inevitable and that linked to the bookstore. I found that quite exciting, and then uh, I think the whole book was structured on like starting from when Aaron went to talk to Penny, and then not telling his father about the the store sale. I think the entire structure of the book was hinged on that particular, from the time Aaron decided to sell to Penny, and then when he finally told his father. So that point in between was full of tension and drama between with Aaron, but everything else was going smoothly. So the structure, I think the author structured this way, like the tension is uh, between when is until the point when Aaron tells his father finally, and then everything seems to turn around. Like all his friends and family came to support, and then finally when he ran away to his mom because he broke up with Hannah, and then he came back and decided to run the bookstore together with Chad and his father. So yeah, it had many turns along the way, which made it very exciting. Anything to add? All right, so let's yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying that in the beginning of the book, it was a little haphazard. I felt that when he had sold the store and he was just not able to, for some reason, tell his father, it was very haphazard because you're always looking for key when will this guy tell his father and all. But it really escalated after a point, when he comes back and he realizes his store has been transformed. So
Yeah,
that's, I think, when the book picks up pace.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think also like after he meets Chad, his character starts to develop because he starts to see the world in a different way as Chad does, and that's also like a turning point. Yeah, definitely. Okay, let's move on to the main idea. Surbi, you are up.
So the one of the main ideas that were portrayed in this book were the dying industry of the bookstore and the lost art of reading. So the author very well portrayed how the blooming of the e-commerce websites and also digitization of almost every aspect of our lives has affected this bookstore businesses and bookstore owners. So and it's also a very known fact that in our fast-paced life we do not have the time to take up a book which is like worth 200 pages and to read it, especially when we are so addicted to instant gratification thanks to social media and everything. So that's one issue that was raised. But at the end of the book, when when Ira's faith sort of brings the bookstore back to life, it hits home two main messages that faith is our greatest weapon. So where there is a will, there is a way. And it was only because of Ira's faith in the bookstore and the townspeople's faith in the bookstore that it could be revived. And it's not like all these bookstores and libraries who are running out of businesses cannot do well. They just need to adapt. Like dinosaurs, some died, some evolved.
Yeah.
So those who evolved, they survived. And the other thing is that no matter how much digitized we get, no matter how technologically advanced we get, one thing which will always bring us together would be this sense of togetherness and to be in a community, because I feel that is our inevitable. We are social creatures and we love to be surrounded with people. So that was a hidden message, I thought. And the other great thing that the author touches upon very sensitively is the addiction part of it, which is a taboo in the society. So the author did a good job sort of demystifying taboo around it. Um, she 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 sort of made us realize, especially with the character of Hannah, when it is revealed that Hannah was also an addict in the past. So Aaron was surprised, but so were the readers. So it makes you think that about your own judgments regarding people who are addicts, as if they need to, check some criteria, they need to look or behave a certain way. So that made you think that maybe we should let go of the judgments that we have. And yes, of course, the other thing that addiction is not always something which is unavoidable.
Surbi, your video is frozen. Oh. Yeah, it's fine now.
Sorry, I got disconnected. I don't know.
No worries.
Am I? Yeah. So I was talking about addiction. That authors makes it a point that their readers know, um, that the readers know that addiction is not always under the voluntary control of the person, and it is also not always
Surbi, are you there?
Yeah, is it audible? Am I visible?
Yeah, now you are. Go ahead.
So I would conclude by saying that author did a very good job by sensitizing people that addiction is not just a choice; it is a mental disorder, and just like any other physical or mental disorder, it requires professional help.
Yep.
Um, Yeah, so these were the two important main ideas and themes I thought were
Yeah.
discussed in the book.
Awesome. Ankit, anything to add? Ankit or Sandeep? Sandeep is also here. Yeah, I think.
Yes.
Yes, I accept that. Like author very well portray about the addiction part, that we can driven by the addiction or we can manage the addiction, and so that's the thing.
Yeah, I think what the author was also very, as should be said, very sensitively pointed out that addiction is not often voluntarily put in, like, by the person itself who's addicted. Like, he's stuck in a loop, and Aaron realizes that too late. And I think Aaron, in a way, also understands very late that Sandy didn't really. Sandy did care about his family. He thought he didn't, but Aaron thought he didn't, but Sandy really did want to get better. But somewhere there's a component of addiction that uh, takes that thinking out of control. So that is very well pointed out. Yes. Sandeep, you were saying something?
Sorry, Rohan. Actually, I did not. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
I just joined and I have not gone through the book, so I thought
Okay.
ki I just listen and understand
Sure,
what it
sure. No
says.
worries, Sandeep. You can participate next time we have it.
Yeah.
All right. Finally, we have the book review. Ankit, go for it.
Okay, so to be honest, I came to know about this author only when Rohan sir posted the message in the group that we are going to have discussion. And so obviously this book is my first book of this author, but definitely won't be the last, because the author write in very wonderful way. So by the cover, if you see the cover of the book, it may seem like a teen romance, but it is not. It is much deeper than that. It talk about all kind of relationship, like family, marital, and friendship. And moral of the book also revolve around the addiction and how to deal with it. The main character of our book was Aaron, who was 19 years, high school graduate, and who is the owner of the Bluebird bookstore, which is an independent bookstore who has lot of debt on it and very less foot traffic. Aaron's father, Ira, and his mother, Annie, used to run the store earlier, but due to death of his elder brother, his mother left, and now his Aaron and his father left to run the bookstore. And due to that, Aaron's father shifted the ownership of the bookstore to the Aaron. Aaron has very good interest in reading book in his childhood, but after that he has no interest into it. And what I realized that Aaron most of the time find negative aspect of the things. He thinks everything happening is inevitable, and he wants to come out of it, and he wants to sell the store. He want to sell the store only when he came to know that debt on his father's credit card is very high. He also make the deal with local businessman Penny and delayed to telling about this to his father as long as he could. One fine day, he meet with the Chad, who is Sandy's friend in the town. Chad is a person who is very funny and interesting and look the positive aspect of the life. He was in wheelchair because of an accident, and the bookstore stairs only contain the stairs. There was no ramp, and the Chad and the Aaron was trying to make a ramp using the plywood. Then some lumberjack person who were like Ricky and Gray name something. They saw it and they came to help them. And they after helping in making ramp, they again and again came, and that will result into complete renovation of the bookstore. Chad, throughout the book, Chad always encouraged the Aaron to take control of his business and give up on the negativity. He also gave the one wonderful idea of selling the book online. And the book also portray very good story about the Hannah, who was the love interest of the Aaron. And then in the end of the book, Chad, Hannah, and his mother help him to come into his life and negative thinking. So that's all.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Ankit. Any contributions by Surbi? Yeah, Ankit, definitely a great review of the book. I think I'd also like to add, like, even though Aaron's mother wasn't largely there throughout the book, I think her influence on Aaron and how he behaved, how he acted was very apparent, because he somewhere in his mind, he wanted to, because his mom was also moving around the world. She was in New Mexico and then going in different parts of the world. Aaron also wanted to get out of that place and explore the world in a much more, um, he didn't want to be stuck in that small town, and he wanted a newer life outside. So that was also his motivation for stepping out. And I think when he finally met his mother towards the end of the book, that kind of brought back the calm in himself, and then he went back. So I think that was also a big turning point for him, in that he realized what he really wanted to do. And then his dad met him halfway, I think, through there, and he kind of knew, uh, he Ira actually helped calm him down, which I thought I was surprising, because I thought Ira would be really panicking at the moment of selling his store, but he was also very calm, and he uh, managed to console his son. So that was also very interesting. All right. So with that, uh, that comes to the end of the book review session. Thank you so much, Surbi and Ankit, for participating. I now hand over the stage to Mithul to conduct a quick round robin session amongst us.
So, hi everyone. Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome to the round robin session. My name is Mithul, and I'm the round robin master for today's meeting. Round robin session is nothing but a fun session, which allows each and every participant to speak on stage for a certain amount of time. And now I would ask everyone to listen carefully to the rules and understand every bit of it. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask. So today, every participant will have to tell a fictional story in 20 seconds and use the word dinosaur in it. And I will make sure that every member is using exactly 20 seconds. I will stop the speaker once he or she is done speaking for 20 seconds. And I will do this until each and every participant has participated. So now let's start, and I would ask everyone to raise their hands on Zoom. Yes.
Also switch on our videos, everyone, so that
Yes.
Yeah. Right, how to raise hand? 1 second.
Vandana.
Vandana, Sandeep, if you can turn on your videos.
Please raise your hands, guys. Sandeep. Okay. Sandeep, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Yes, please raise your hands and turn on your video.
Okay.
I have a question. Every
Yes.
participant has to build his or her own story, or we have to
Yes.
continue the
No, no,
story?
you don't. You're not required to continue. Your
Your own individual
yeah, your
story.
own short story will talk.
Okay.
So now that everybody has raised their hands, and so that I know whose name to call next. Uh, so participants are required to put their hands down once they are done telling their short stories. Okay. Uh, so anyone have any doubts regarding the rules of the session? No? Okay. So now let's start. Let's start with Surbi.
Okay. So, uh, so I woke up one day and I realized that I have been transported into a world of dinosaurs because I saw a dinosaur flying outside my window, and I have been transported 100 million years back now, and I am also a dinosaur. And as a dinosaur, whatever life I had lived as a human, it was just a dinosaur dream.
Stop.
So
Rohan.
When I was transported into this dinosaur world, I was amazed at what these dinosaurs could do. They could fly over each other. They could sword fight in the sky. They could go to tea parties. For them were very big teapots, and they used to have all these different social events, which I didn't realize that dinosaurs could be social because they interacted with each other through the weird sounds. Like the T-Rex made
Stop.
this huge noise.
Bandana.
Yeah. Um, so I made friendship with one of the dinosaur baby who was actually growling and saying he was first growling at me. But when I came and I tried to match my frequency with him, he actually gradually gave up and became friends to me. So I shared my meal with him and it was a fun day.
Okay, stop. Sandeep.
Yeah, I was speaking to one of my friend, and we were actually speaking about survival of the fittest. And then we realized that dinosaur being the most powerful animals, but then being adaptable made them actually made them not survive. Not being adaptable made them not survive on this planet, and that was very important that we should be adaptable to the
Okay,
situation.
stop. Ankit.
So I make the friendship with the one of the baby dinosaur, and as I was transported into the new world, I have no idea about the world, so I was very afraid. But that tiny dinosaur friendship I share with, I grew with it, and I became the friend of it, and I became the rider of it. With the time, we
Stop.
I,
I hope everyone has participated in it.
Mithul, you also do it once.
Yes.
Just show us out.
So so I was some I woke up today and I woke up a little bit late, so my variant got created and a, a new time branch has created, and TVA team the TVA force came to me, the time variance authority that controls the time, and they took me to another timeline, and like they took me to their office, uh, and put me in, and then they put me in the jail, and then I stole their device and start jumping in the timeline. So suddenly I got into dinosaurs timeline like 100 million years back, and and then I dropped at 1920. There I saw some cars, some old-fashioned cars, and people wearing weird clothes. and then I again jumped and I reached my own timeline, and I'm really happy. Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Mithul. I think you
Yes.
took some cue from Loki, the TV show. So great. Great show.
So
All right.
thank you everyone for participating, and with that being said, signing off. Over to you, Rosman. Oh, sir, Rohan.
Thank you, guys. Please quickly vote for the best round robin speaker. We'll just have a quick poll.
Best round robin.
Yeah. All right. All right. This brings us to the end of the 16th session of the Impromptu Hive. So the winner of the round robin session is Bandana. Congratulations. And the best speaker in the book club is Surbi. Congratulations, Surbi. Great job done. All right, with that, we come to the end of the book club session. I hope you all enjoyed it. There were a lot of backouts. There were a lot more people supposed to join. But this was a first session, and I hope for many more interesting sessions like this in the future with a lot more participation. So with that, I conclude the session today. We'll meet on Sunday with the impromptu speaking, and our next book club will be on 21st of August. And I'll put out a Google Forms link for you to recommend books to me that we could use as part of the book club. So we'll do that. So now we'll focus on books on leadership, communication, or public speaking. So if you guys have any recommendations, you can put in on the Google Forms link. And this Sunday, we'll have the impromptu speaking. I'll put the nominations list out on the group